Well, good morning. Welcome back to GP Outdoors into Central Ontario. Got a beautiful day today. It was actually supposed to be overcast and rainy, so I assume that's coming later. Week got a little bit sideways on me. A couple of things came up I wasn't expecting, so I didn't get all my chores done. So I'm going to try to get some of these odds and ends done today before I head back to the city. One of the things I do have to do is I've got some grease on this and on the loader arms. I think the book says every 10 hours you should grease up your zerks. And so I try to keep to that. And for all of my implements, I kind of do the same thing because I don't know if I should be doing it sooner or later, but I figure 10 hours on the loader I grease, so I do it on some of my implements as well. Okay, just need a couple of squirts. That's it. You can see it coming out. I think I'd mentioned to you folks a while back, we have a lot of different animals up here, up at the cottage. And usually when it comes to the wolves and the coyotes, they pretty much keep their distance. In fact, I've been up here for pretty much about 10 years now, and the closest I've ever seen a wolf to this cabin is about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from here. In the summertime, you can hear them howling at the moon every once in a while. It's a pretty cool thing to hear. But for some reason lately, they're getting a little bit more aggressive, I think. I came home from Guy's just recently. It was about 5:30 at night. Started to walk up to the door and I heard something down by the dock. So I turned and looked, and sure enough, this wolf came around the balsam tree and stopped dead and was staring at me. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. About 5 seconds later, his buddy shows up beside him. So they're both standing there looking at me. And I kind of had that moment when I thought I was in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. You know, when they look at you and you turn into a little fried chicken, and then you turn back to yourself. So after about 10-15 seconds of staring at each other, they weren't leaving. So I went in the house, and then I watched them through the window, and after about a half a minute or a minute, they turned and started to walk away. So I don't know if they were chasing a scent or what was going on, but it's a little bit disconcerting because I don't know about you, but they grow those wolves up here pretty huge. And I mean big. I'm talking full-size German Shepherd times 2 or 3. They're huge up here. So you got to be a little bit careful, especially at night up here, now that I see that they're crouching a little bit closer to the cabin than they ever used to. Anyways, I'm going to finish greasing this stuff up. I'm going to grab the backpack, finish blowing those leaves, get the branches done, move a few things around, and I think if I have time, I'm going to try to use that broadcast spreader today and get the fertilizer on the lawn. So if you've got a few minutes, stick around and enjoy the day with me.
The road ahead, it twists and turns, and the sun beats down and it burns. But I keep on pushing through. And every step quicker than the last, my feet tread down this beaten path, and I keep on pushing through. 'Cause I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Oh, I've come too far in this to raise my flag and
So I got the chute down, it's bolted, it's ready to go. I just want to open up the case here and take a look at the rotor just to make sure there's nothing in there from the winter time. And then I'm just going to grease up my zerks, get everything ready in my PTO shaft, and then we can start getting to these branches. Let's chip some branches. Wow, I am still so impressed with the quality of the chips that come out of that little chipper. I'm really glad I bought that. This is where I decided to put all the chips that I'm going to pile as I get them that we're eventually going to end up putting on the trails later this summer. I figure it's a good out of the way spot. It's close to the forest, and when it rains the water usually runs along over there. So I should be pretty good, but as you can see, it's a start, but I got a lot more chips to do before we finish those trails at the end of this year. Cheers. And now for the moment we've been waiting for. I picked up this broadcast spreader last fall after doing a lot of research on different brands and types and prices. I purchased it because it's a 4-season spreader. So good in the winter, as you guys saw, for sand and salt, but also good for spreading fertilizer, different types of seeds, or any other types of things the rest of the year. So we're going to give it a shot, first time out of the winter. Picked up some fertilizer for the lawn area on this property. This stuff is supposed to be environmentally friendly, no phosphates, so it should be okay to use here. So we're going to load it up, and then we're going to head out onto the lawn, and we're going to see how we can do with this. I think I'm going to have to keep the gates pretty closed because I don't want to shoot too much fertilizer, and it's my first time.
I get up And I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Oh, I've come too far in this to raise my flag and call it quits. So I keep on pushing through. Oh, with every step my heart it pounds. Yes, so sure I'll have my doubts, but I must keep pushing through. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. I'll keep on running from the things I don't understand. I'm chasing down the reasons, answers for what makes this man. Twists and turns, and the sun beats down and it burns, but I keep on pushing through. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall.
All right, well, I got pretty lucky. It was supposed to be a miserable day today, overcast and rainy, but we ended up with a beautiful sunny day and warm. So I was able to catch up on the chores I wanted to get done this week before I head out. Happy with the broadcast spreader. It's going to take some getting used to though, because those tiny little fertilizers and grass seed and things, they're hard to see when they're shooting out in the bright sunlight. But hopefully I got it on with a reasonable pass. I've got one more little area to do, which I'll do on my way back to the shed. But other than that, it was a great day. Got some stuff done. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I tried to include some of the stuff that you often don't see me doing, and these are things that I'm usually doing behind the camera. Things like lubrication, greasing my Zerks, the PTO shafts, the equipment, those kind of things. But just a little reminder for those new tractor owners, got to keep your equipment maintained. So make sure you got the grease gun at the ready. Make sure every 8 to 10 hours on a piece of equipment, you're putting a little bit of extra grease in there just to make sure that they're well lubricated and they're going to work well for you. Hope you enjoyed it today. If you like the channel, please click subscribe, hit that like button, and if you want to know when I'm posting videos, just click the little bell. Have a wonderful week with your families. I'll see you again on the next one. Cheers.